Hello, everyone. I am meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for joining me with a national look at weather. Quiet on the western one half of the United States. We have winter storm conditions in the Great Lakes, lake effect snow, a snow squall warning currently in effect in the Dakotas and parts of northwest Minnesota, thunderstorms in the hills of Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, south towards Houston. Here's an update for you. We're going to get started right away with a look at the thunderstorms down south and a quick look at the lake effect machine that is going as a cold air mass is sliding right over parts of northern Minnesota now. It's going to feed that lake effect machine and continue snow showers as we talked about on my last update right here. Let's get to Texas real quick. We'll go down there and take a look at the thunderstorms that are working their way through. This is all in that Bryan, Texas area, Huntsville, Texas area. We do have Waco with some thunderstorms in the vicinity. This stretches all the way down towards just east of San Antonio right now. This is on its way off to the east right now. Shreveport, some beneficial moisture working its way into parts of northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas as well. So thunderstorms here are working their way off into the region of the Gulf Coast states right now, causing wet weather. Quiet along the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys. Now, as we go into the other area of concern right now, we have a snow squall warning. A very sharp cold front is moving through Grand Forks, North Dakota right now, heading into Ada, Minnesota, and the I-29 corridor between Fargo and Grand Forks, seeing this snow squall making its way through. Road conditions up north, terrible, and the air temperatures are dropping like a 2-ton heavy thing out there. A snow squall warning has been updated by the National Weather Service, has been extended until 9 o'clock this morning. Following this cold front moving south, there is a sharp line of very heavy snow, reducing visibilities to 0, and winds are gusting to 50 miles per hour in this particular area. So there are some terrible wind gusts up across North Dakota and northern Minnesota. Here's a peek at some of those peak gusts that we've seen today. And where you see these red colors here, 50 mile per hour gusts through parts of central North Dakota. The James River Valley, this is Jamestown, North Dakota, seeing a 51 mile per hour gust. And we have gusts that are over 40 to 45 miles per hour in the area where we do have the snow squall warning going on at this particular time. So back to the radar we go, and now let's take a look at what's going on in the Great Lakes region. You sneak over just a little bit off to the east here, and what you're going to notice is we have some heavy snowfall reports. All these little blue icons here, that's snow reported from across the area. We'll go over more of those later. Right now you've got a northwest wind. Now the longer the northwest wind or the air is blown over the top of the open waters of the Great Lakes, it picks up more moisture. It picks up heat from the water surface because the water surface is warmer than the ground, and that energy is added to the air. And just downwind from the Great Lakes, we can see enhanced bands of snow. Now, where the air travels over the water surface longer, it picks up more moisture and more energy and more lift and produces even more snow. So some of the snowfall reports from across the area are coming in now, but we're seeing some snow showers in parts of northern Wisconsin, south of Duluth right now, Superior, Wisconsin. Here's the area near Ashland, Wisconsin, picking up some snow as well. Now we go to Sault Ste. Marie out there, the UP of Michigan picking up some snow, as is the Sheboygan area in northern parts of Michigan at this hour. Now, here is a system that is already producing lake effect snow with its swirling winds going over the top of places like Erie, with snowfall amounts in some of these areas that are already enhanced or elevated. Let's go in towards Erie and Buffalo, where we see 4.1 inches of snow reported at 7 a.m. added on top of what we saw on the Sunday football game there. It's insult to injury. And there is much, much more coming for parts of the northeastern United States, as this cold air mass swirling around a Hudson Bay low will produce this lake effect snow for the next several days. The pink icons here, let's go ahead and take a peek at what's going on with these guys. Near the Houghton area in the northern reaches of the UP here, we're not only getting snow, but we've got freezing rain on top of snow at the Boston location. A hard shell of ice is now observed over the top of the snow, and they're reporting a spooky sound of the ice-covered trees swaying in the wind. If you've ever heard that, when ice coats trees, some of those branches start cracking deeply, and they're huge branches carrying a lot of weight. So we've got some problems there, and we could even have some power outage potential up and around the Great Lakes area today, thanks to the fact that we're going to have wind gusts that are very excessive on the Minnesota and Wisconsin side of this storm as that cold air punches out of Canada. The Quebec, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba prairies will be bringing the cold, and that will take hold. So we've got icing there. Let's go to this other one just a little bit to the south. Houghton, Michigan, freezing rain, 1/10 of an inch. Train spotter says an inch of snow overnight was then coated by a 1/10 of an inch of ice on top. Very slippery in these areas reported this morning. So that is a look there. Now, some of the snowfall reports in these areas, 1 inch here, 2.1 inches in Iron, Wisconsin. As we go out towards Ashland, they've got an inch of snow. Not overly impressive, but we're soon to add some significant wind with this. A check-in on the snow squall warning. We do have a storm report that's been turned in, a snow squall update. A National Weather Service employee said that they reported the snow squall that was making its way through areas north of Grand Forks, North Dakota, and that snow squall does continue. Now, one of the things about Hutch's weather, I like to cover things in real time. If you have a question, let me know. If you like what you're seeing here, please drop me a comment. Let me know. If you want me to focus on a different area, I'll do my best to keep up with my different channels that I'm broadcasting on now. Clarine says, yuck. Thanks for watching, Clarine. Matthew says, definitely loving this weather this morning with a smiley face. Some of us are. It's been a long time since we've had good ice fishing in the northern plains, that's for sure. So appreciate that. Let's take a look at what's going on my other channels here. Okay, well, there's this one, and let's take a look at the national one. Paige West, thank you very much. If you do have any updates or questions, let me know. Let's take a look in at the North Dakota area road reports. I do this frequently for those in the northern plains that are familiar with me. Here is an update for our North Dakota and Minnesota viewers. There is a travel alert in these purple counties that's now been extended to the Southern Valley to include Fargo, down through Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and the Sisseton border area there near South Dakota. And then you're looking at North Dakota here. This is Highway 2, a U.S. Highway 2 going from Devil's Lake into Grand Forks all the way out towards Minot. A travel alert has been hoisted there. Now, as we take a look, we can show you what the roads look like in the area of the snow squall that's moving southward. Here's South Grand Forks right now. Not terrible. I've seen worse as the wind and the snow combine, but you can see as you go off in the distance, you get away from the city buildings, and this snow is picking up this fresh, flaky snow that you see here on the ground, and it's causing it to blow and drift and reduce visibilities. But there's also a band of heavier snow moving along with this. That is now moving into the Buxton area. We can certainly see it here on this Department of Transportation camera. This is I-29, about halfway between Fargo and Grand Forks, North Dakota. Now we'll sneak over to the Minnesota side of the river. So we have snow-packed roads in purple. And in the yellow areas here, we have roads that are covered with ice in and around Valley City, North Dakota. Here is a look. Look at the clearing going on out in parts of western and central North Dakota. This cold Canadian air is so cold, so dense, it's shallower, the air is sinking, and it's causing a sharp cutoff of the clouds that we likely can see as we take, or if we took a look at the satellite view. Let's take a look at that satellite view of the northern plains. Let me see if I can find it, and go. Here we go. So as we take a look at the visible satellite imagery, we see this batch of clouds. Look at the sharp clearing going on as we dive off into parts of central North Dakota. So Minnesota is where the action is. We have these narrow bands of snow showers along the cold front right here that's working its way southward. Kind of a couple of punches of cooler air. One down here, maybe the primary cold front, but the secondary surge of cold air that really is associated with the single-digit temperatures is heading through right now. Let me show you that on the local radar up here in the northern plains. So here's that snow squall warning. Whoopsie, I clicked on the wrong item here. So here's the snow squall warning that continues now until 9 o'clock, basically moving southeast at 54 miles per hour. So the gusts of wind are carrying that band of snow pretty heavily in the general direction of Mayville, North Dakota and Fargo, North Dakota at this time. Here is a look at the temperatures that are happening right now with this system. And it's cold, cold, cold up there in the Northland. So as we take a look at this, we have temperatures that warm from near 40 degrees in central South Dakota. And in southern South Dakota, we even have temperatures warmer than that, closer to Minnesota, 40 degrees, and we're down to 0 or so as we look along the international border. Regina is at 0 degrees right now, so there is a cold Arctic air mass plunging southward now, and as these temperatures fall, the salt that they put on the roads stops working, stops melting snow once we get to around 12 degrees. So that's what's heading south, and that is a look at that. Now let's factor in the winds, and let's take a look at what the wind chill values are at this particular time. So the coldest core of air up here, the winds are gusting to 50 miles per hour. Can you imagine what this feels like? It's 21 below zero in the Devil's Lake area in North Dakota right now, as that wind slaps across exposed skin. 24 below in Belcourt. And it looks like even in southern parts of Manitoba, around 10 to 20 degrees below. Minnesota, there's a few more trees to slow down the wind out there. Not quite as windy, but the air is starting to fall in temperature as well, with wind chill values between 0 and 10 below across parts of western Minnesota. So that's a look at what's going on there. I am meteorologist Hutch Johnson. You can get the very latest with what's going on with your weather by checking out hutchesweather.com. Hutchesweather.com is my website. You can upload photos of the weather that you're seeing. I'd love to see your photos as well. Here it is, hutchesweather.com, anytime, anywhere. If I'm going live, it'll let you know right at the top of the page like it's going on right now. Here's an update for the Northern Plains on snow and gusts over 50 miles per hour today. Interactive radar lets you spin around and check out what's going on with regards to the snow showers working their way across the area as we take a look, because we definitely have some unsettled weather. Here comes the lake effect machine, the main batch of snow with this, a warm front moving its way here. When the cold front starts swinging around the backside, that's when the northwest winds will take hold, and that's when the snow machine will pick back up. So for those of you watching along the East Coast, here is a look now at the Great Lakes area, and we'll take a look at the forecast from a model here that goes out to the East Coast. Let's go ahead and take a look at this high resolution updated forecast model real quickly, and we'll look at this storm system that's working its way out of the northern plains now with very gusty winds. These black lines are isobars. The closer they are together, the stronger the winds. This explains the 50-mile-per-hour gusts across North Dakota this morning. Strongest winds will be shifting into Minnesota throughout the day. Now, remember, when the wind becomes northwesterly, we'll start to see more lake effect snow on the U.S. side of the Great Lakes. And here is a look at the latest forecast for this storm. As it works its way throughout the day into the Great Lakes region, this cold air mass, here's the cold front right here. You can see it slamming into places like Chicago, Toronto. We'll look at the UP of Michigan, and now the lake effect machine will begin working its magic across Lake Michigan and Superior on the south shores. As we go a little bit later in time, once that wind shifts and becomes westerly or northwesterly, we will get snow and bands of moderate to heavy snow working through the New England states, and then the lake effect machine will last as the north winds persist into the next 24 to 36 hours. You see these narrow little bands just downwind from the Great Lakes in the northeastern United States. Zooming into that region specifically so you can get a better view, we'll start with the New York and New England zones here, and you'll see the storm system wrap through. Here's the main warm front coming through. That's warm front snow there. Very heavy wet snow when you get that situation, and then it turns and becomes the northwest wind. This is the cold, fluffy, flaky snow, lake effect enhanced snow that will continue in places like Buffalo, Syracuse, and Erie, PA as we go through. Snowfall potential with this system in the Great Lakes area. Let's take a quick peek at that for you folks as we go through. The warm front snow could be several inches of snow once we get into the elevated terrain out there in upstate New York. But here goes the lake effect snow machine. In some areas, depending on exactly where they set up, we'll be seeing upwards of 6 inches to 1 foot of additional snowfall, and some places even more, because this will continue beyond the 48 hours that I'm showing here. So that is a look at the weather across the nation for today. Thunderstorms in Texas, the eastern half of the state, seeing some heavy rains moving into parts of Louisiana, moving into other areas as well. Southern Arkansas seeing some showers of rain as well. We also have very cold air punching its way into the northern plains right now that will begin the lake effect snow machine out along the Great Lakes as we go through the next 24 hours. Just nasty cold weather and wind chills that'll be life-threatening for areas of North Dakota as snow squalls have been setting up there. And again, one more look at that radar as we close out here. We'll show you the national impacts here as we zoom out to a national view. So we've got snow reports, wind gust reports over 50 miles per hour, snow reports here, icing taking place in northern parts of or the UP of Michigan, and snow from a warm front making its way into the New England states, thunderstorms south of Dallas. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I sure appreciate your hitting the subscribe button there on the YouTube channel. I'd love to have you follow me on Facebook or check out my website, hutchesweather.com. Until next time, traveling in North Dakota, be cautious, take it slow. If you're driving along, it may be deceiving. You're in perfectly good visibility, then all of a sudden you hit that snow squall warning in the Grand Forks zone, the Crookston area, and visibility will drop to zero very quickly. Take it slow, take it easy, stay safe, and stay tuned.